What's up guys, Cruz here, and today we're talking 5 tips. 5 tips to instantly improve your video, starting with number 1, composition. The biggest thing I see people not pay attention to is their composition. And just as a 10,000 foot view, what composition is if you've ever learned about the rule of thirds, I'm gonna split this screen up into thirds. So you've got a third here, and then horizontally, you've got 2/3 like here. And so there's different ways that you can split up the composition of your video. This also applies to photos, but typically what you wanna do is you wanna put whatever you're filming on a third. Now with this video, I have myself centered, which this is a really common composition. I do this from the majority of my talking heads. I like to keep subjects centered, especially if there's an intentionality of talking to a specific audience. Couple caveats. I don't really know what caveats means. It kind of sounds like caviar, and I know caviar are fish eggs. I've never had caviar. Caviar? Couple things to think about, I feel like is a better way to say it, is say your subject is facing this way. My question for you is, where do you think that the subject should be sitting on a third? Which third should they be sitting on? Should they be sitting here, down here, over here? That feels a little claustrophobic. Or if your answer is here on this third, you'd be correct. You don't want your subject to feel too claustrophobic, and things like cutting off the top of their head or smushing their face up against the frame can tend to make that feeling more prevalent. So if you're gonna put somebody on a third, make sure that you're giving them enough rooms. Number 2, lighting. Now, if I filmed all my videos like this, not like this, like this. Actually, let's just throw this bad boy on there. Would you want to watch a video like this? If you're filming inside, you want to have a nice lighting setup because you're not utilizing things like natural light, maybe some things that you would utilize, say, during a wedding. So a very basic lighting setup that I like to do is to have, obviously, an accent light. You can tell that this light isn't doing jack squat for me in this video. I have a Godox here that I use primarily as my key light. It's got a soft diffusion on it, and then it's got a grid to help direct that light on me so that there was not like a ton of spill. This lighting setup would be completely fine and absolutely acceptable, but I like a brighter video for me, so I like to keep my windows open. Oh, Jesus. Allergy season is upon us. And so this is a very bright video, very loud video, but this is the way I like to light my setups. If you don't have fancy lighting like this, you can take something as simple as a lamp and place it on a little table like this right next to you and have that shining on you. Never have the light directly in front of you, always have it off to either the right or the left side. And if you can, try to make sure the light is just slightly above your head. If you have it underneath of you, you start looking like a raccoon, or you look like you're telling a campfire story. And unless those are the vibes you're going for, great. But if you want something that's nice, professional, stick to a light, left or right side, elevate it, make sure that it looks good for you. Tip number 3 is shot variety. Now this is what people would consider a medium shot. Technically a medium shot is anything from the waist to the head. Now notice how I've got just a little bit of headroom up here. You want to try and, like I said before, give your subject some room to breathe. Say you're filming something like a wedding or even like a commercial, or say you're just gunning a concert. You want to make sure that you have a variety of shots, and the way to get a variety of shots is between 2 things. 1, composition, like we talked about earlier, but 2, shot variety in terms of a wide, a medium, and then a close. That's a little too close. A wide shot would be something a little bit more where you can see, knees up, or even like the whole body from the feet up. But then a close-up shot is anything from the chest to the top of the head. So 10,000 foot overview. If you're shooting a concert, you're shooting a wedding, or you're even shooting B-roll for a YouTube video, try to get whatever you're shooting in a close, a medium, and a wide, so that way you have a variety of shots to choose from in the edit. Tip number 4 is to try different movement. If you're a videographer who strictly shoots on a monopod, my advice is to ditch the monopod and go to a gimbal. If you're somebody who shoots specifically on a gimbal, ditch the gimbal and try shooting handheld. If you're somebody who shoots strictly handheld, try the other 2. The biggest part about the video industry and being a videographer and a filmmaker is to constantly be testing the things that you're comfortable with. And Just like many other people, when we get comfortable with something, we stick with it. But that's where complacency is born. And so if you want to up your videos instantly, drop the monopod, switch to a gimbal, drop the gimbal, switch to handheld, but try something new and always push the envelope for yourself. And finally, number 5, try shooting through something. Don't shoot at something, shoot through something. So often in wedding films and music videos and commercials, I see the same standard shot, something as simple as this. This isn't a bad shot, don't get me wrong. But if you put something in the foreground to just add a little bit of depth, it can make the video dramatically different. Let me try and show you. How am I gonna do this? Here we go. Got this little ficus or whatever this is, but say you have a plant. So you see how these two little ferns are kind of split up? If you put that something like this and you frame the shot, it could be a freaking model right now. So if you're shooting a wedding, things to shoot through could be things like candles, plants. You could shoot through maybe some dresses if you line the dresses side by side. You could shoot through chair sashes or table decor, anything to try and bring depth to the shot. So just challenge yourself in that. Put something in the foreground, add some depth to the shot. I think that'll instantly improve your guys' videos. If you like my ADHD and you guys enjoyed watching this video, feel free to drop a like. That's the biggest way to get this video out in front of people. Comment down below so I can start engaging with you guys. Share this video with a friend who's maybe just getting started in the industry, and subscribe if you guys want to see more content just like this. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for giving me the most valuable thing that you guys can give me, which is your time. I appreciate you all so much, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.